I don't want nothing from you but for you to leave this room and know what you want. What do you want in your marriage? What do you want with your son and your daughter? What do you want in your health? You know, there's some commitments we made in 2019, and so I think it's about 20 corporate gigs, a couple conferences, but moving in the middle of 2020 and then beyond, our focus is just schools. It's been real, man. It's been fun. You know, we have made a lot of impact, influence, made a lot of money. You know, we're gonna keep, YouTube, Instagram, we're gonna keep spreading that love, but moving forward, I gotta do, you know, it's like, Q, when you know this, it's like you have these goals, and when you hit them, it's like, what's next? And it's like, yo, I did NFL, I did NBA, you know, I've done corporate, but what my heart was always with schools, but it was like the resources weren't there. But because of CJ, now we're doing the solar, now we're doing the real estate, and we have other ways to, you know, make money. It's like, what would you do? It was funny, I just heard God say, like, what would you do if you didn't have to work? Like, if you didn't, what would you do? And I'm like, you know what I would do? What I was doing in the beginning, schools. And I just heard God say, I want you to go back. That's where Pastor Willis saved you. Got you off the streets, helped you to get your GED. He sent you to Oakwood. Like, yo, go back to your first love.
One of the best things that can help you when you're trying to become successful is to figure out what you want to do and find the best pathway to go about doing that action. If it's something that you truly love and you truly want to do, you will find a way to make it happen and go out there and pursue it with everything that you have. You see, you don't want to ever regret anything that you do in your life, so you should make sure that anything you try and anything that you truly love and you want to do, put 100% of your effort into that goal or that task that you want to make happen. Because if you don't, then you'll regret not going all in and trying to prove your potential that you can do anything that you put your mind to, instead of just sitting there wishing, thinking about how you could have done things better, when you should just go all in from the get-go. From the tip-off, you should be 100% committed to trying to figure out the best way to navigate your life to accomplish your dreams that you truly want to do. Because if you love it, you should attack it with everything that you have. Now, it could be other people are telling you that it's not going to happen and there's no chance that you become successful in that area, and you need to take those words and use them as motivation to push you further to get closer to those goals faster, because you'll be motivated and hyped up to prove them wrong. Because in today's world, anything is possible. You are able to accomplish anything you want as long as you put your mind to it.
I actually ran away from home. So I didn't really realize that what happens is when I'm in my natural and everything is going well, I'm like bubbly. But when I have to adapt, I start withdrawing. Now watch this. If you're dealing with somebody and they met you for the first time, when they're in a relationship with you and you gregarious, and then something happened in the relationship and you go all the way down to poise, like that's the difference. And so a lot of you be tripping, like, why people tripping on me when I get mad or because they don't know who you are. You like night and day. You so emotional that when you're doing good, you giving them 100%. Then when you go down, you're giving them about 60-some%. That's a different person. A 99 is passing the class with flying colors. A 60 is you failing. And what I didn't realize is I got programmed that day. Now that day in of itself didn't have to program me, but for whatever reason, I wasn't aware of what happened. So when things changed between me and my mom that day, it's like whenever I'm doing well, I'm like, let's go. But when I'm not, I withdraw. So now me and CJ getting into it, and we're not agreeing on stuff, and all of a sudden I go from me and C hollering at each other to me withdrawing. You know, so just homeless for a while, you know, sleeping in abandoned buildings, eating out of trash cans, eventually dropped out of high school. You know, it's like, yo, I was going to high school every day, but after a point, my boys was like, what are you going for? I like school just because, I mean, it's a safe place. You know, you got breakfast, you got lunch. You know what I'm saying? You have to worry about, you know, certain things happening when you're in school. Your friends, the social life was great. You know, but my boys, and I'm not proud of it, but at that time, you know, guys were, you know, selling drugs and whatever. And they were just like, yo, E, we're out here making this money and you going to school for what? Like, what are you going, like, you're not doing anything. You're not going to Harvard, you're not going to Yale, you're not even going to community college with your grades. So you just need to just quit, let it go. You know, so eventually I dropped out. It was, and I think that was the first time I got turned on to inspiration. You know, you got this pastor and, you know, all that stuff is positive. You know, you got the choir, the praise team. It's a free meal after each. And so just being in church with my best friend in the whole wide world, he ended up introducing me to Dee Dee at the time. And I think when I started dating Dee Dee, that was the first time in my life it was like, yo, fuel. You know, it was fuel. It was like, here's this girl that's saying like, yo, I got dreams and goals. You know, I think a man is about responsibility. And I think a man, a true man,
knows he's the head but plays, the tail. I'll never forget reading that the greatest among you shall be a servant. I don't have to walk around my house and say, yo, I'm the man. I show my wife I'm the man by ironing her clothes before I leave for the day. I show I'm the man by calling my son and saying, is there any way I can help you? I know you're a senior in college, but is there anything I can do for you? I show my manhood by, saying to C and Carl, man, I love you guys. You know what I'm saying? And on the podcast, I love you guys, or on the calls, I wouldn't be here without you. So I think there's this fine balance of, yep, I'm powerful and I have this strength, but I don't use it for my advantage. I use it for us. I use it so we can grow. Like, I don't use my platform to tear you down, or say things about you that, would put you in a bad place. I use my influence, I use my money, I use my strength, I use my influence, I use my impact to build us up and not tear us down. So for me, manhood, like the real man says, like, I'm not gonna make no excuses. I'm not gonna point the finger and say, Lewis, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. I'm gonna take full ownership, full responsibility of helping us and even you. Yeah. For me, manhood is responsibility, and it's that fine balance of when I was a child, I spoke like, I act like I understood that, but when I became a man, like, I put childish stuff away and I'm not competing with you. We don't have to tear each other down. So I'm just about responsibility is what I think manhood is. Bringing up and not tearing down.
Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please go ahead and like the video, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let us know what you thought down in the comments section below.